Volkswagen Group employees protested and are on strike. 103,000 were confirmed to be on strike yesterday and the day before. They are determined not to see any factories closed, not to see anyone fired, not to see any reduction whatsoever in their salary. But this new expose has revealed some shocking numbers about the true cost of Volkswagen's operations. They are incredible. In an insane poo-slinging match between German car companies owned by the same parents, the true cost to manufacture a car in Germany and in Europe has been revealed. And the true cost to manufacture cars in China has been revealed. We've never seen this kind of data before. It reveals a shocking statistics on the incredible difference between the cost to make a car in China versus the cost to make one in Europe versus the cost to make one in Germany. The cost to build cars in Germany is astronomical. I mean, these labor costs, they're not just 100% more. They're much more than that. These numbers are truly staggering. How on earth is the German automotive industry even still making any cars at all? I can't understand it. Ownership of the Volkswagen Group and the Porsche SE company are arguing over which factories should be shut down. They're talking about labor costs, how much does someone actually cost, and comparing which factories should go first. I mean, this is insane. This comes on the back of Porsche admitting the Porsche SE Group, which is obviously has investment ownership of the Volkswagen Group, admitting that they may have to write down their value of that ownership by up to 22 billion US dollars, meaning Porsche has admitted for the first time in decades they'll be making a loss this year. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. It's great to have you with us. Oh, wow. This is just kind of blowing up in Germany here. Now, I'm getting this information from Spiegel, which I've had to subscribe to their German news media website. At Porsche, employees cost an average of 125,500 euros per year. So, around about 140,000 US dollars. There is a dispute, though, within the Volkswagen Group over which brands and factories have the highest labor costs. Now, of course, the media in Germany, they're saying this. Simon Hage says for Spiegel that one thing is certain, production abroad is much cheaper than what it is in Germany. The dispute over personnel costs at Volkswagen is dividing not only the management board and employees, but also the brands within the car company. So everyone's attacking everyone here. It's like an absolute shit show. You're talking about different car brands saying, no, they cost more than we do. No, we shouldn't be shut down. They should be shut down. Shut them down. Management saying to the unions, we've got to shut you down. We're going to shut down 3 factories. Unions say, hell no, you shut yourself down. You guys are making €1 million a week on your ridiculous dividends. You shouldn't be making all that money. The company's obviously in dire straits here. You're telling us all of our staff there to take a 10% pay cut. You take a goddamn 10% pay cut. I mean, it's like being in a room and there's literally just people throwing stuff at each other from all around the room. At Porsche, labor costs averaged 125,500 euros per capita in 2023, including non-wage labor costs and pensions. This is shown by figures circulating within Volkswagen as well as an analysis of the annual reports. The Volkswagen Group, with brands such as Volkswagen, Audi and Skoda, only accounts for 73,300 euros. Basically, the Volkswagen Group is saying, your wages are nearly double ours. What the hell? Competitors such as BMW and Mercedes-Benz also achieve lower per capita values at 97,000 for BMW and 99,000 for Mercedes-Benz. That's in euros. Now, I don't know where this data is coming from, but it's been reported by the German media. In the Porsche environment, it is said that the figures are not directly comparable. We make better cars than you do. You can't compare it. The sports car manufacturer has outsourced a relatively large number of work steps to suppliers, and the vertical integration is only 20%. Only 20% vertical integration at Porsche. That's a bit concerning. You're probably thinking to yourself, well, who cares? Porsche make huge profits, right? Not so fast. In fact, in the third quarter of this year, for those 3 months, Porsche profits fell 42% worldwide. Porsche profits are, falling fast, thanks to China. And they're closing another 38 factories in China, another 38 dealerships in China. In other words, Porsche employs relatively few assembly line workers, instead employing better paid vehicle developers, they say. In addition, in contrast to other manufacturers, a large proportion of the workforce is employed in high-wage Germany. So these numbers you're seeing, that 125,500 euros, that includes their workers in China. That includes workers not just in Germany. Porsche also performs worse than its parent company when only Volkswagen AG's personnel costs in Germany are considered, including employees on collective agreements and better off employees in the tariff plus salary group. The company's headquarters, Volkswagen passenger cars, commercial vehicles and component production in Germany come to just under 100,000 euros per head. So you can see the big difference here, right? It's around 100,000 euros for a Volkswagen Group worker in Germany. But if you include all their workers outside of Germany, say Poland and Slovakia and China, that figure drops down to 73,300 euros. Pretty big difference, right? That would suggest that it can be no more than 50,000 euros for those staff outside of Germany. In other words, labor costs in Germany are, I believe, at least double. From these numbers, I believe at least double what it costs to have someone working on your production line in Germany. Factory workers in Germany cost at least double. Is this sustainable for a company that are clearly in decline? Sales are in free fall, profits are in free fall. Of course it's not. The Volkswagen Works Council sees the figures as proof there is no need for permanent cuts in the level of pay for employees. They say paying people double in Germany is completely reasonable. Personnel costs and Volkswagen AG do not need to fear any comparison with the competition. The unions are saying this is not this comparison should not exist. We should not be comparing wage costs in Germany versus anywhere outside of Germany. That seems a bit odd to me. What do you guys think? Here's the thing. Factory costs of more than 7,000 euros per car have been revealed. The Volkswagen board sees things differently than the unions, and that's why they're not agreeing in any way whatsoever. According to Spiegel Information, CEO Oliver Bloom presented figures to the company meeting last week that show that the average hourly labor costs at Volkswagen AG in Germany are 79 euros. That's like $95 an hour. That's insane. Guys, if you're in Australia, that's like getting paid $150 an hour to work in a factory. I'm pretty sure a lot of Australians would be pretty happy with that kind of income, right? Both Porsche AG and Audi say that the costs in Europe outside of Germany are 30 euros. That's more than double. So 30 euros is their average cost to make a car, to hire someone outside of Germany. In Germany, it's 80 euros. Wow, the difference is staggering. Both Porsche AG and Audi are said to have lower figures in Germany than Volkswagen. In other words, it sounds like Volkswagen brand workers are getting paid more than Porsche and Audi workers in Germany. What also emerged in the presentation, the salaries of Volkswagen employees in the highest pay scale exceed the salary mark of 100,000 euros, which is considered the top income in Germany by 60%. They exceed it by 60%. According to the analysis, the factory costs in Germany and at the Audi plant in Brussels amounted to a good 7,000 euros per vehicle. In the rest of Europe, it's 2,600 euros per vehicle. 7,000 euros in labor costs per vehicle, but outside of Germany, it's 2,600. I don't know how there's any manufacturing industry at all in Germany. I mean, if you're German, please comment on this article. Don't give me this bullshit where you're trying to deny this is happening. There's Germans that are just sticking their heads in the sand and pretending, no, there's no weeds, there's no weeds, there's no weeds. Ignore all the weeds in the garden. They're not real. Don't do that. Please don't comment if you're one of those people. But if you actually are working in this industry and you know about this stuff, 7,000 euros per vehicle versus 2,600 euros per vehicle outside of Germany. How on earth is there any of these factories in Germany still standing? I don't understand it. Chinese competitors can build a car for less than 2,000 euros per vehicle. 7,000 euros versus less than 2,000. According to the calculations, Western manufacturers also have lower costs. The car group Stellantis, Peugeot, Citroën, Fiat, Chrysler and Opel comes to 2,000 to 2,500 euros per car. Now, I don't know which countries that's from though, so I don't know about that data. Even if the question of who has the highest labour cost in the Volkswagen Group remains controversial, with, the companies clearly fighting against each other here in terms of which factories are closed, Porsche has announced cost-cutting measures as well. So these cost-cutting measures are not the Volkswagen Group alone here. Porsche is saying, well, just quietly, don't tell people who love Porsches because we're going to lose some of our premium allure. We're in trouble too. We need to cut costs as well. Guys, less than 2,000 euros to make a car in China. And I'm sure everything else, that's the labor cost, right? What about all the other stuff? What about all the much cheaper to manufacture things in China than it is in Germany? Ignoring any labor costs. Put the labor cost into it and it's an entirely different game. This is my point. I've been saying this for years since I started this channel. How do you compete with this if you're a legacy automaker? How do you compete with this if you're at General Motors or Ford, where the majority of your factories that are still standing or that will be still standing are in the United States, right? Your labor costs are pretty damn high as well. In fact, your labor costs are increasing pretty damn quickly. Ford CEO Jim Farley claimed that it costs him an average of $300,000 US dollars per worker on average in their American factories. Little wonder they're trying to manufacture cars in Mexico or elsewhere. Guys, unsustainable. The end result of all of this is that the majority of car production will simply move to China. That's the end result of this. It doesn't matter what sort of geopolitics come into play. It doesn't matter how these companies fight or what acquisitions are made or what cost-cutting things are done. You can't compete with this. It's unsustainable. Keep in mind that Chinese factories are now also trying to replace humans with robots as much as possible. And they're working on this at the fastest pace in history. They're investing billions and billions of dollars into advanced robotics in order to simply get rid of humans. That would remove that 2,000 euro cost. Then you're looking at a 7,000 euro versus €0 difference. Now, it might not be exactly that, exactly those numbers, but you get my point here. Factory automation is coming, but not coming fast enough for the Volkswagen Group and certainly not for its employees, no matter what they do. As I've been saying for years, guys, I warned employees, I begged people in Germany, in the Western world, to retrain. You need to find a different source of income. You need to find a different job. You need to do something, learn to code. There's so many courses online where you can learn things. Start a YouTube channel. Do something different, guys. You can retrain. Don't feel like this is the end. The automotive industry is basically finished. I mean, come on. This is the little tip of the iceberg, right? You're in the Titanic. The iceberg is there. You're thinking, it's okay. There's only a little bit sticking out of the water. Well, it's not what's sticking out of the water. It's what's beneath.